Welcome, you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. On February 7th, the 69th Berlin International Film Festival will kick off in Germany. Historical thriller called Mr. Jones, a joint production of Poland, Ukraine and the UK, will take part in the main competitive program of the festival. The director of the film is the head of the European Film Academy and an Oscars nominee, Agnieszka Holland. To talk more about Ukraine's participation at Berlinale, we're joined in the studio today by Pylyp Illenko. He is the head of Ukrainian State Film Agency. Hello and thank you for coming.
Hello.
So first of all, let's talk about the Berlinale. How will Ukraine be presented this year at the festival?
Well, first of all, the most important is the presence of our film, which was co-produced with Ukraine and partially filmed in Ukraine, and it's a story of a Welsh journalist who was the first one to tell the truth about Holodomor in Ukraine in the 30s of 20th century, and unfortunately the world didn't believe him because everyone was reading Walter Duranty's articles in American newspapers and was sure that Stalin is building something doing some social experiment in Ukraine and building new society. And soon after publications of the news about famine in Ukraine, Gareth Jones was killed under still not clear circumstances. And this story is very important because it has a lot of parallels with our modern day and situation in which Ukraine is now.
So you think this was the main reason why the committee chose it?
No, I think Berlinale, first of all, has chosen it for its artistic valors and because the director is very well known, and also because of the stars which are there. But for us, it's important that this film is presented on such a high international level. So it's not only an artistic achievement for us, it's also very important from the point of view, well, frankly speaking, even political point of view.
So what kind of feedback are you expecting to receive?
We just want the story to be heard, first of all, and one of the best ways to do it is to have your film on one of the most prestigious film festivals in the world, which is Berlin International Film Festival. But besides the film, there would be a number of activities which we are regularly, annually doing there.
We will talk about it a little later. Do you expect to win a prize with the movie?
We always expect to win a prize when our film participates, but it's not always happen. It's not sport. It's not sport where you can count exactly who is the winner by the time or length of or some other exact result. This is very subjective, let's say, evaluation of the jury. It always depends on the competition, on the members of jury, on their taste, and so as a matter of fact, the participation even in Berlin Film Festival is a huge success. It's like to be in the finals of World Soccer Championship, let's say, like that.
So when is this movie, Mr. Jones, when is it going to be released in Ukraine? When is the Ukrainian audience going to be able to see it?
We don't have the exact date yet, but it will depend obviously on the policy of the international sales agent, which is attached to the film. And since Ukraine is financially a minority party in this co-production, we will depend on them. And but probably it will happen in November this year, somewhere close to the dates when we commemorate the victims of Holodomor.
Now let's talk about the other activities that Ukrainian delegation is going to be presenting at the film festival in Germany this year.
Well, as usually, there would be present a Ukrainian national stand at the European Film Market, which is one of the largest film markets in the world also. And it's growing not only by size, which it occupies on the on the location of the market, but also by presence of Ukrainian film professionals and professional screenings, market screenings of new films which are produced or co-produced by Ukrainian filmmakers. And also we will have a traditional Ukrainian reception during the festival and during the market. And for the second year, we will have Ukrainian hosted business lunch at the co-production market of Berlin International Film Festival. It's very important for making connections, networking, and building relations with the international film industry. And this activity is supported by Igor Yankovsky Foundation, who is our partner in doing this, in doing a lot of international events, not only in Berlin, but also in Cannes, in Toronto, and some other activities worldwide.
This is not the first year Ukraine is participating in Berlinale. How long has Ukraine been presented at the film festival in Germany?
If we're speaking about films presented at Berlinale, Ukrainian films are frequent participants of different Berlinale programs. And last year it was a film When the Trees Fall by Marisa Nikityuk, which took part in Panorama of Berlinale. In previous years it was a lot of Ukrainian filmmakers in different programs, but most prominent were Pylyp Illenko and Kira Muratova, whose films were presented in one of the most important programs. But almost each year we have a film in some of the programs, and but this is the main competition, which is the most important program which can be which is presented by the festival. And because there is a chance to win the Golden Bear Award for the film, so which we cross fingers and hope will happen.
Let's hope for the best. Now, the design of the stand, of the Ukrainian stand this year says, "Ukraine is your destination." Could you dwell on that?
It's a traditional slogan we are using for almost 3 years on different international professional platforms like Marché du Film during the Cannes Film Festival, market of the Toronto International Film Festival, Berlin Film Festival and European Film Market, and some other activities, also Beijing Film Festival and its market. It means that we are trying to present Ukraine as emerging film industry, and we're trying to let the world know about the possibilities which they can gain in cooperation with us, coming shoot here and coming to make their films here, in which we can be either partners or just very qualified service providers.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And for this fruitful conversation. That was Pylyp Illenko. He is the head of the Ukrainian State Film Agency. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for the rest.